Tuner here. Today we've got my A4 work wagon. This little brown dream right here. It's got a nice hatch on the back of it. I use it. It's also got a nice hitch on the back of it. I also use it. I also tow vehicles, A4s, Q5s, you name it. With this bad boy right here, it's a 2011. It's got an 8-speed transmission. It's pushing 160,000 miles and I got a check engine light. What are we gonna do about it? I'm gonna go this way with this check engine light. First off, let's take a look at it. I got my little scanner hooked up right here. And what we have is a P0420, the 420 code. That catalyst efficiency below threshold. You see there, it's all the same thing. Let's flip this around. So if we scroll down through here, it's all the same thing. 1 permanent, 2 pending. So I found this video a long time ago. It's by Scotty Kilmer. You know, that old dude that loves his Toyota Celica. He said that you can clean out your catalytic converter. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll pop the hood too, but I got this nice little Milwaukee pack right here, and it's holding the car part in question. This is the catalytic converter. This is a thing that people are chopping off left and right, and they're taking them to the scrapyard and they're collecting money because there's precious metals in here. There's metals so precious in here that they can make dirty air clean again. So apparently I learned something from Scotty, if it's correct or not. He said that if this thing loses efficiency, only 5%. So it will set the fault. So that means if you're just over 5%, you'll get this P0420 code, catalyst efficiency below threshold. He seems to think that this thing can be cleaned. Well, if you take a look at this one, it is in some horrible shape. I'm gonna flip it around and show you in front of this light. It is sooted up. You're supposed to be able to see all the way through the end there, through the honeycombs, and you can tell that there's some crud in here. And now let's take a look at the other side. The other side looks a lot better, and typically the other side is what it will look like most of the time if it's in good shape. So this one probably also had a P0420 code. What's the fix though? Before I talk about his fix, let me talk about how this code popped up. I had a couple ignition coils go bad. Yeah, I think it was 2 at once. I think this thing was running on 2 cylinders. It had almost no power. Typically, whenever you're just running on 1 cylinder, it will chug and vibrate and you'll still have some power, but this thing wasn't even getting out of its own way. I replaced 2 ignition coils and that's it. And then it cleared completely up and I cleared the check engine light. That was a few days ago. But immediately after that, that was enough damage because I drove about 3.5 miles on that just horribly running engine. It was running bad enough to jam up impurities in my catalytic converter. Now I have that P0420 code. So here's the fix. Scotty Kilmer seems to think that if you have a half tank of fuel in your vehicle, you can run this gallon of lacquer thinner through your engine and it will clean up your catalytic converter. It'll just go right through it and just clean this bad boy right up. I don't necessarily, I believed him, you know, I don't have any arguments against it, but I've never tried it. So now is the time for me to try it. And it doesn't necessarily make sense to me is where I was going, because, you know, if you're burning it up, it's supposed to explode and burn up in the cylinders. Why? You can't get lacquer thinner, pure lacquer thinner, past the cylinders into the cat, can you? I mean, that doesn't even, is the engine just gonna run that clean that it's gonna clean out the cat? Give me your opinions and your thoughts on what it's actually doing, how it's doing it. I know lacquer, I've used plenty of lacquer thinner. Yeah, I've used acetone, I've used paint stripper. I've used every chemical, the brake clean, the carb clean, all of it. I've had it all in my eyes, in my fingernails, in my wounds. I've had it everywhere. So I'm supposed to be at a half tank. I'm not quite at a half tank right now. I'm a little bit less than a quarter, but the gas station's right around the corner. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna follow good old Scotty's instructions, and we're gonna take this gallon of lacquer thinner. Look at this. I'm gonna pop this. Oh, come on now. There we go. Pop that tab right here, and we're gonna go right over to our fuel tank. Right over to our fuel tank. See, that's that custom hitch I was talking about. It does work. And that's pun intended. If you get some of this lacquer thinner on your paint, it's no big deal. That was a joke. But this is my work wagon, so. It's all in there. Now he says that you're supposed to drive it, you know? Drive it and it should clear itself out. I'm gonna hopefully see if it clears itself out, so where I don't have to clear the check engine light. That would be the best. I have to go through a few drive cycles for that to happen. About to go get gas right now, and then part 2 I'll give all the updates. And we'll see, but I need your opinions, I need your thoughts. You tell me what's going on with this, and if it's even a good idea, because I already blew up one of my other engines by putting a gallon of used oil back in the tank, and that didn't go so well. I actually blew it up on film, so hopefully I don't mess up my work wagon, because I actually need this thing. I'm about to do engine deliveries and installs. The next one's in Vermont, but someone sent me the wrong parts, and I have to buy super expensive parts spur of the moment at the dealership. Lots more videos to come. Naptown Tuner.